I bought a property far in the country. It's about 135 miles away from home. And an RV came with the property. This generator was the original generator of that RV. According to the hour meter of that RV, this generator had little bit over 50 hours. So it's fairly new. I tried to run it in the RV and it didn't run. And I really don't need a generator in that RV because, like I said, it's far away. I'm not planning to visit that property or the RV if the weather is bad or if there is no power. And there's already power on it or coming to the RV. So I decided to remove this generator. These generators, they're fairly quiet, so they're ideal for backup for the house. It has two 30 amp circuits. They 110, so I could run tools and appliances. So I brought it home and I took the carburetor apart and the gas was gelled inside the carburetor. So after I cleaned the carburetor, installed it, I ran temporary gas to it and it ran fine and very quiet. When I disassembled it, when I disconnected the hose for the gasoline, I know the gas was very old. The tank for this generator is huge. It's a little bit over 100 gallon. And I didn't want to bring it and use it for this because it's going to be a very big trailer or generator. I have this barrel. It used to be used for refrigerant oil. It's lined inside, so it's not going to rust. I'm going to build a pickup tube to deliver gasoline to the generator, and I'm also going to install a vented cap so this barrel doesn't build a pressure and it will be safe. When I removed this generator, inside the RV there is a switch to turn it on and off, and also there is the hour meter and some gauges for the gasoline or for the tank. I made a drawing how that switch was connected to this generator. I brought the harness, but I didn't remove the switch, or I didn't want to remove the switch because that's going to leave it cosmetically bad inside the RV. I'm going to use different switch. Like I said, it has two circuits. So I'm going to wire one to a double outlet and the other one to another double outlet. This gives me 4 different 110 outlets. Inside the generator there is on and off switch and these 2 circuit breakers. And this is the auxiliary harness connector. That's where the connector or the auxiliary switch will be connected to. So I'm going to wire another switch outside to be able to turn it on and off without removing this cover. I didn't record how I built this trailer because it's fairly simple and easy. I'm using rubber under these legs, and this will stabilize this trailer so the vibration while the generator is running, it won't cause this trailer to move around or walk. Also, this generator internally, I believe it sits on springs. So this will also reduce the noise and vibration. And like I said, I ran it after I fixed the carburetor and it's running very smooth and quiet. It's perfect for a house. I'll get the camera and I show you close up of this trailer. Then I will show you how I'm going to build the fuel pickup tube and also how to mount the battery and the switches and outlet and all that. I hope you enjoy this video. The main frame for this trailer is made of 2x2 square tubing. When I removed this generator from the RV, I took a large cardboard and I marked the hole pattern or transferred the hole that the generator is mounted to the RV to that cardboard. It has 4 mounting holes, And after I built the trailer, I made it a little bit wider than the generator. I took the center of the two holes over here to the two over here, and I welded this angle iron, the 1.5 by 1.5, 1/8 thick angle iron, and I welded them. Then I took that template and I took measurement from the bottom of this generator, and I lined that template so when I mount the generator it will be centered on this trailer, and it is. To be honest with you, I built this trailer as cheap as possible and also as simple as possible. I took this 1.5 1/4 thick flat stock. I drilled 5/8 hole and I rounded the outside so if somebody ran their foot accidentally to it, it's not gonna hurt as bad. And when I built this dolly, I put this 1/2 bolt and I'm using these two nuts as lock nuts so I could adjust how far I'm picking the trailer. The axle for this one is 1.75 square tubing. And I just welded these wheels. I got these wheels from work. They were scrap. They're 8" in diameter and they have rubber, so they run very good on concrete. This, or the handle, is made of piece of EMT, 1.25", and I flatten one end to be able to weld it all the way. And this also another piece of the same EMT. At the end of this 2x2 square tubing, I have piece of rubber or rubber plug. They sell them at the hardware store. So this generator doesn't sit on metal. It won't leave rust on the concrete, and also it helps reduce vibration. The back wheels, they made from 12" diameter wheels. Those two I got them from work. They were scrap. I welded them to a C-channel, a small C-channel, to help lift this trailer above the ground, and this gives me plenty of room to replace the oil in this generator. And to support the barrel, I took this flat stock, 1.25". I welded 1/2" all thread, and I'm using this unistrut to bolt the barrel down to keep it in place. And I welded a sheet metal over here where I'm planning to install the battery. And I'll probably install some 2x4 electric boxes over here for the outlet and another one for the switch to turn it on and off. And the battery will sit right in the middle. This barrel is lined to prevent rusting. It has some type of good quality coating. There's no bare metal. I have 6 of these barrels. I did experiment a few weeks ago. I put some gasoline, diesel, acetone, and kerosene in 4 barrels, and I let them sit in the shipping container for about 3 weeks, and I checked them. These fluids didn't damage this coating. So this excellent choice for a fuel tank. I don't like to use plastic for a fuel tank because the fuel tank could crack and this could lead to fire or hazard from the vapor of the gasoline. Also, I'm not going to drill and deliver the gasoline this way because I have to either use some type of bolt and gasket and all that to prevent leak, or I have to weld it, and this will damage that coating. The way I'm going to do it, I'm going to build some type of adapter, and I will build pickup tube to go all the way down to deliver gasoline to the generator. I showed this in the past in detail. I built a pickup tube for my zero-turn mower. I will link at the end of this video. I'll probably just show a few things when I build, or a few footage when I build the pickup tube for this barrel. I made and painted these parts several days ago. I also found this brass washer to go between this nut and the barrel. I also bought this vented cap to go on the 2-inch thread on the barrel so I could fill the barrel easy with the fuel, and it's vented, this to prevent explosion or fume building up during the hot months of the summer. And I'm going to use some of this between the thread of these parts and the barrel to prevent leak. And this is rated for fuel, or say fuel resistant. When I disconnected the generator from the RV, I made a drawing of the remote switch. This harness was connected to the generator at this end, and these wires, they went all the way to inside the RV to turn on and off the generator and show if there's any trouble. It has the connection for the hour meter, the light, and the on-off switch. This switch also will prime the unit or run the fuel pump to fill the carburetor with the fuel for easy start. And I have the other hardware for the generator, for the exhaust and the other stuff. I originally thought about making this build as easy as possible. I thought about using two 2x4 or 2-inch by 4-inch electric boxes, connect them together using this coupling and 2 chase nipples, connect them like this, and then I will connect the cable that feed power to one end, and this way I will have 2 circuits. I will have a black and white and green wire for this box and one for this box, and then I use 2 outlets to generate the 120, and then have another box with a toggle switch, a regular toggle switch, momentary toggle switch to turn on and off the generator and to prime it. However, while I was waiting to receive this part and the fuel hose and this metal filter, I found this electric box. It's a 12-inch by 12-inch, 4-inch deep, and I thought I'll be able to mount everything in this box and use it as a remote control and also a place to put all my plugs. So I went back to the hardware store and I bought this square outlet to be able to cut this cover and mount them easy. I could do something like this. And then I also decided to use one of these RV plug and add it here just in case in the future I decide to run my RV on the generator, so I'll have the outlet. However, this is not going to produce 220, it's just going to produce the 2 legs. This is how the generator is built. It doesn't run, and nothing inside it, it's run on 220. The RV that I have, it has the neutral connected and 110, 110. So to split the 230 amp circuit into the RV, so it will run the RV, or it's capable of running the RV. And I also bought this switch. It's the exact one they use in the RV to run the generator. And I bought this hour meter. It's also the exact same one that's in the RV. Same voltages, same everything. And I will mount this somewhere over here and I'm going to weld a protection to protect this switch, because if I move the generator, I don't want anything to hit this switch and break it, because it will stand broad above the cover. And I'm going to weld a rib in the back side of this cover, so when I plug and unplug, this doesn't cause this cover to bow in and out. And I'm going to weld it, I already cut these legs, I'm going to weld it higher so I could install the battery in this area. And I may have to brace this box. After I weld it, I'll try it, see if it's weak, then I may brace it to the generator frame. I will show you how to do some cutting over here to mount all these switches, and then I will show you this box mounted on the generator. And of course I have to go back and paint it, because grinding it and welding it gonna cause cosmetic damage to this box, and I don't want it to rust. I will paint it about the same color to prevent rust and to make it look nice. I decided to use these outlets because it's easier to cut directly to this box and use it as a cover to protect from somebody touching these legs. I'm just going to cut this box so this will fit directly on it from the other side, and I'll drill so I could bolt these to this cover. For this one, I have this hole saw, which is the exact size as this part. I'm also going to use the file to make all the cuts a precise fit. This is the exact size as this one, so this may have hard time going in the cover, so I'll file it so this will go in and out easy, just in case I need to replace it in the future. And I'm going to use the jigsaw to cut for these rectangle cuts, for this one, these, and this switch. The electric box came out great. It's very solid. I also drilled over here for the battery. And I made this a bracket for the battery. The cover came out great. I cut the flex to length, and I have plenty of wires. This is extra piece of the flex. The way I cut it, I left the wire inside, and I took the grinder and I grind little bit around and then snapped off. I didn't harm these wires. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the exhaust pipe to length, and I'll install it to shoot the exhaust out of this frame. And I'm going to run it, change oil and filter, put the cover, and then I come back and I show you how to wire the electric box. It's very windy today, so I don't want to set the camera and it will be shaky, as you see. But really, this is easy. I'm going to cut this with the grinder to length, and I'll slot it so when it fits in this, I'll be able to compress the pipe on this using this one. I changed the oil and oil filter, and I installed the fuel tank and the battery. I painted this fuel tank a few days ago and the paint completely dry. I applied silicone on all the thread to prevent moisture and rust buildup in these areas. And I adjusted the pickup tube to be about 1/4 inch higher than the bottom of this barrel. And I installed the new fuel line filter all the way to the generator. I used rubber between all the parts, this to prevent moisture and rust buildup in this area, and also to help with vibration, if any. Same thing for the battery. I put piece of foam over here. It's rubbery foam. And I also have rubber over here. I'm using 1/4-20 all thread, and I put this piece of plastic around the all thread to prevent damage to the battery. I had to use channel lock to remove this filter. It was very tight. And I used the same part number. This is aftermarket filter. It has the same part number as the original, and it fit perfectly. I installed this harness, and I used that extra piece of a flex that came with the generator. Let me explain to you the wiring or how I done it. These wires, they came out of the control box of the generator. It has two neutral and two hot wires. They label circuit breaker 1 and circuit breaker 2, and one ground wire. I connected the ground over here to the frame, and I brought the ground back and I connected on this 220 outlet and I branched it out to the two outlets or 110 outlets. I did same thing with the two neutral. This is how they were connected on the RV. Both of them tied together, and they are tied internally inside the control box. And I also branch them out. This chrome terminal is the neutral. And I branched out, so I have 4 wire over here, and I came out to the two outlets. The one on the left side, I use circuit breaker 1. I'm using the same wire after I cut it. I used it to the left side of this 220 plug and to the left side terminal or outlet. Circuit breaker 2, I connected to the right, and I came out to this one. The hot wire, or the one that go to the circuit breaker, it's connected to the small terminal, this one, or the hot, and the white to the chrome or a neutral. This is 220 outlet, however it only deliver 110. There is no difference of potential between the two hot legs because they are in sync or connected inside the control box or the dynamo of this generator. This generator is only produce 110. You probably could reconfigure it, however this require the change of the board inside because it regulate the RPM of the motor based on 110 monitoring. It will monitor the 110 or the 120 circuit. So this outlet, it's only for the RV. It doesn't produce 220 volt. Everything tied over here. I'm ready to tie up these. I just left them open to show you. For the auxiliary remote start, like I said, I made a drawing when I disconnect the harness from the RV. This is switch I bought off eBay, and I bought the cheapest one they were selling. It didn't show the internal component of this or the pinout. I meter it before I install the wire, and what I discovered, this terminal and this terminal, they connected internally via resistor, and it didn't work correctly. So what I end up doing, I disassemble it and I fix it. I cut that terminal, and then I remove, there's a spring inside. I actually didn't have to cut the terminal. I removed the spring to this side, and then I solder 2 traces inside for the LED to work, and basically isolate the switch from the light. So if you're gonna buy one, make sure you buy one that there is no connection between the light and the switches or the switch. Some of these, they have 2 sets of switches and the light, or it may have 2 lights, one for the off and one for the on. So make sure you buy one, it's not connected internally. Something like this. The switch by itself and the light by itself. Or you could use, like I did or was planning to do, just use a toggle switch and use a light for the status light, and then the hour meters work perfectly. I check it, there's 12 volt when the generator running, and it's off when it's not running. I will tie wrap this, put the cover on, and then we'll start it for you. And I also have to connect the battery. I added 4 screws in addition to the original 4 to prevent this cover from flexing. Also, it was a good idea to weld this 3/4 inch flat stock on both sides of this switch to protect it. As you see, they stand higher than the switch itself, so if there is something hit this switch, it won't break it, it will hit this guard. The light or indicator of this switch is in sync with this one. And these indicators, they should be solid or illuminated while the generator is running, and they should be off when the generator is off. If they flashes, that indicate there is an error in the generator. I will make a label and I will install it over here to show this error, or how many flashes mean what kind of error this generator has. I will move this generator to the shade to run it to show you the light of this switch. It's very quiet, it doesn't produce a lot of noise or vibration. Actually, the grinder is way louder than this generator. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your support, and I'll see you later.